welcome to another card making video. This time I would like to share with you a multi-technique card where I use stripe die cutting and smooshing technique, and I also added a shaker with sequins. Here you can see my little layout I've created for myself. I don't do that for all my projects, but this time I had to think a little about my design because I wanted to incorporate all these elements to my card. And also you can see that I was not sure how smooshing technique was called. So here I already prepared my stripe die cutting panel. You can see how to do that in my previous video that I will link below. And I wanted to use a rainbow pattern. And out of this colorful background, I'll die cut a round frame for my shaker. Here you can see me using my nail to kind of soften the edges of the frame. Sometimes you can get those kind of indentations if you run your die cut through the die cut machine and it squashes it too hard. And since it seems I love the squishy words a lot, I'm gonna head over and do some smooshing right now. I'm gonna use my distress inks. I went with kind of cool colors. I am gonna use Salty Ocean, Crushed Olive, and Peacock Feathers. So I saw this technique for the first time when Christina Werner made a card on her channel, and I'm not a big fan of watercolor, or rather I wasn't, but lately I'm using watercolor more and more, and I'm liking it. And this technique, especially with these colors, turned out really nice, I think. So if you're into watercolor, you should definitely try this technique, and it's very liberating. You can do whatever you want, and you can move the color around however you want. So I'm basically using here a piece of acetate, kind of tapping the ink pad on the acetate, spraying it with water, and then smooshing it on my watercolor paper. So sorry for my head, luckily it didn't cover what I was doing, but nonetheless I'll try to keep my head away from the camera more. And I'm doing these three colors because I thought they worked well together, and I'm just moving the ink around and blending the inks kind of freely. So that's the effect I got, and obviously you can't get the same result every time you do it. It probably isn't the best technique for somebody who likes everything neat and perfect. And to be honest, this is how I thought I was until I tried this technique, and I think it's really great. And anybody who is constantly sticking to one technique should definitely try it out. So as you can also see, there's no rules in this technique. You can take your brush and move ink around, and according to me, I don't know if this is exactly what you should do, but to be honest, this is art and you can do whatever you want, or rather whatever your heart desires. So have fun, enjoy it, don't stress, and go for it. Try new techniques. And after I was finished with my watercolor panel, I let it dry, and this is how it looks like after it dried for a little while. And now I'm gonna create a shaker. I decided that I want all that smooshing to be visible through my shaker, so it's gonna go as a background. So I'm trying to figure out where I should put it so it doesn't cover too much of the smooshed area. And I also wanted to add a stripe of that colorful rainbowy background to the side. So I used my Fiskars mini trimmer to cut the strip of that rainbow pattern that I will use on the side of my card front. So at this point you will see me do a convoluted procedure that was completely unnecessary in the end. I still wanted that gray background to be kind of peeking through next to the rainbow stripe. So I'm adhering both the stripe and the card front on top of the gray background. But in the end I actually got rid of that gray stripe because I thought the white and the rainbow was enough of a contrast. So that's the card front that I ended up with for now. And now I'm gonna actually make the shaker. I also decided that I will add a little black banner with a blue sentiment on top that I will heat emboss using zinc embossing powder. At this point I was still thinking whether to use white or blue, but I went with blue because the card was so nice and colorful. And so I'm using my powder tool, and then I'm gonna use Versamark and stamp the sentiment. I'm using the stamp set by Bo Bunny called Sentiments, and I'm gonna use this sentiment, enjoy your special day. So here I'm gonna put together the shaker. I'm gonna use my glossy accents and adhere the piece of acetate that fits perfectly the circle. And after that I'm gonna adhere my foam squares all around it, so it's a bit raised and so that there's space for the sequins. So with a feeling for the shaker like sequence, I usually like to just put them on my surface, pile them up, and then add the front of the shaker. So that way I can adhere my shaker exactly where I want. And so I decided that I will add a few of the black sequins among the silver, purple, and some clear ones. Because the card was already so colorful, so I wanted to kind of add a little bit contrast. Then I popped my sentiment banner on a few foam squares. I then popped it on the black card base. And at this point the card would be done, but I decided later that I will actually remove that gray stripe. And the card was already kind of broader than 4¼ inches, so when I cut this off, I think it was 4¼ exactly. So it's a standard American card size at this point. So that's the card for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Have a great day. Bye!